Hello everybody, I'm Jeremy.
I'm TJ.
We're here with the Archeryshack Shop Talk number 93 for another brief episode. Just want to check in with everybody and say, hey, we had the PSC rep come by today and he brought the newer bows, the EVL or Evil or whatever you want to call it. We got to play with it. It did shoot good.
Mm-hmm.
He told us that they were catching up on their lead times and all that. That's good to hear because everybody's been so far behind.
Yeah.
But some of their bows are still, 8-10 weeks out. But that Evil bow, it shot good. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But he said he updated us a little bit on all the happenings at PSC and I'm trying to think. I think somebody had mentioned that they had came out with a 90-pound bow. I think it was on a podcast, but they didn't. He said the custom shop could probably build one, but it's not like something that's that was just a Joe Rogan bow.
Yeah, that was they built it just for him.
Yeah,
so it's not going to be a.
Yeah, you might could get it through the custom shop, but it's not something that's going to be like mass produced.
Yeah.
I think he said you could get about everything in 80 pretty easy.
Yeah, he said pretty much everything 80 was 80 and under they had pretty much. They still do.
So, PSC, if you've paid attention or listened to some of our stuff, what was it about? It hadn't been a year. About 9 months ago, I guess, they fired all their factory reps, hired an outside rep group, but luckily our rep got to stay with the new group and all that, so sounds like that's going pretty good. But now instead of just dealing with PSE, I think he's got like 20 or 30 brands he has to deal with, so I'm sure that's a lot to handle. But I was glad he came by and chatted with us.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens, but we've typically here we've done well with the mid to lower end PSEs, some of the crossbows, but when you get up above $600-$800, you kind of get into that higher end Prime and Matthews and whatever money, and it seems like people kind of go that route. But how is it where y'all are at? I'm just curious. Does anybody see? I'd say within a 2 to 3 hour radius of us, Matthews is the number one seller. Now, we don't sell them, but, it just seems like if you looked at it as a whole, I'd say Matthews takes up the majority of the market. Yeah. But is it that way where y'all are at? What do y'all see? I'll just be curious to see how it is in different areas. But other than that, still got a lot of bows we're trying to get finished up and strings and get almost caught up maybe. I guess school is out for the kids, and traditionally this is a slower time, but I think just Saturday had 2 or 3 dropped off and some more today, so we're still trucking along. So if you're local and needing to get a bow worked on, bring it soon because it's going to get really backed up by the time we get to prime time season. And there's a lot of people doing that, and that's definitely a good thing. It gives us time to get it right. You definitely don't want to bring it in a month or so before hunting season, because that's you may not get it back, or you don't want to get something that's rushed type thing. But every year we get that big crowd of people that still want to do that. But anyway, I'm trying to think. I hadn't heard of any new products or anything like that.
I hadn't either. I mean, I seen where Hamsky they starting to do. They're starting to put out a few more like clothing things, but other than that,
another question for y'all. We've been talking about this and seeing this a few locally, but a lot online on the groups. Has anybody had a Matthews bearing go bad? We've had a couple come through the shop that were questionable. And then right before we started this, I ran across a post, and I mean, somebody's bearing like it completely fell apart. Yeah. So I don't know if it really started when we first seen it a couple years ago, so I don't think it's just one bad batch of bearings, but it's like maybe a supplier that they started using a couple years ago or something. But have y'all seen that at all, or is it just us working on them, or what? But seems a little sketchy at this point. It's more than just one or two. It's like
Yeah.
a bunch of them seem to be having trouble.
Yeah. Let's see.
We got, what's our next shoot? I think there's a tab shoot next weekend.
Yeah, I think tabs next weekend.
And we're still trying to put together a Bobby Brown visit. I mentioned a date Saturday to a couple people that come in, but nobody seemed to jump on it. So we got to get everybody on the same page before we do it. But let's think, what else? It's been kind of as far as new stuff or exciting stuff, it's been kind of a boring week.
Yeah, and that you know, it's kind of like this time of year, you know, pretty much like there's no really hunting season going on. There's no sports.
Yeah.
Baseball's they're fixing to finish up. Softball's fixing to finish up. Whether y'all watch baseball, softball, you know, it's pretty much no new products are being released. I guess we've got it's June. You know how is it? You know, roughly another 2 months, maybe PSC might drop you know, they'll probably drop their tournament bows at the last ASA event.
And, you know, Tyler told us, he said their main focus was just to get stuff in stock and caught up with orders that have already been in. So I think that's kind of everybody's story.
Yeah.
But
I can kind of see, and you know, we say this every year, we wish the bow companies wouldn't release new bows until the ATA show in January.
yeah,
I can almost see that happening this year.
that'd be good. That'd be good. It just don't make sense to push, you know, here's the new 2021 bow, we sell them, and then in October, for us, the first third of hunting season, or maybe November for a couple companies, so middle of hunting season, you release the 2022 bows, and it's like, this don't make a whole lot of sense. And then typically with several companies, well, pretty much every bow company we've dealt with now or in the past, you know, they'll send you like a preview pack of 3 to 5 bows, and then you're going to pretty much be waiting until springtime to get any more a lot of times. So it just makes more sense to us and to average Joe. And I mean, I know you'd have more cost in getting the product ready, but why not have, I mean, an absolute slew of bows ready to ship, release them in January when most people's hunting seasons are over and the ATA show's happening, and be ready to ship them that week, within a week or something.
Yeah.
But I guess that makes too much sense.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, there's only, a couple more ASA shoots?
Yeah, a couple ASAs. I've heard a few people talking about bow fishing, but not a ton. Let's think.
I know our local tournament side, it pretty much, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 more after tab, and she'll be done.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Usually around here, so it gets like right now, it gets real hot, and it is real hot and humid, and you know, you lose a lot of your normal shooters because they don't want to get out in all this hot and humid weather. So like for here, our area, our biggest tournament season's from, you know, like February to just a few weeks ago. But then usually before it seems like all the clubs left our state and closed down and all that stuff, you'd still have a good number through the rest of the summer until August. But our local, a lot of the low country clubs, they kind of closed down, and a lot of the Georgia ones closed down. It's close to us, so we got like 2 main clubs now, and they're kind of, it's getting hot, fizzling out. They still got a shoot or 2 left, but it's not like it used to be.
No.
And I don't know what the answer is to fix it. One, I think, is definitely, it seems like a lot of the local clubs don't do anything on social media.
Yep.
You could get a absolute ton of new people shooting or involved in archery or whatever if you would just put some video and post out. I mean, you might get we're having a shoot post one time, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You know, but there's so much stuff you could do if you had the time. You know, have some Genesis bows, have kids. I mean, I think a lot of parents would just bring kids to shoot, not knowing anything. But again, you'd have to buy a few Genesis bows and all that.
Well, and I think we're seeing a lot of people like the total art. And we talked about this 100 times, but the total archery aspect of it, you know.
Yeah, kind of going that route.
Yeah, you know, some longer shots, more.
Yeah. Well, and I'm all for too, and I've said this before, and I think I've made some people, I don't know about mad, but they don't agree with me. I'm all for local clubs going up on their pricing for shooting. I mean, I don't want to go pay $100 or nothing, but like, you know, people go play golf, and that's a lot more popular, at least here, than archery is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and $30 to $50 is nothing to go play golf for a couple hours. You know, and look, I think Kiwi did go up $5 this year. I think that's smart. I wouldn't, you know, I think you could continue to go up between $20 and $30 to shoot around the 3D targets, because 3D targets, they're not cheap. You know, there's a lot of labor that goes into putting them out, taking them up, changing them, all this stuff. So I'm all for clubs going up, and that will, I'm sure, exclude a few people, but you know, just keep the family deal. Where if you got like John Partain that helps us, you know, he's got about 12 youngins. You know, maximum family price is this. That makes, you know, so you don't have to pay $2,000 to go shoot, but keep that. But I'm all for clubs, just keep bumping that number up a little bit. That way, you know, you can do bigger things and buy more targets and that sort of thing. But I don't think, I've mentioned that to a few people, and I don't think that's a very popular topic, but I just think it is what it is.
I think as long as you stay within $20-$25, I think everybody'd be happy.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you get up towards $30, I can see.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have your diehards that'll pay it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll be one of them. But
I'm also for doing a golf course style shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the brains really to put this together, but I mean, if you had golf carts and some kind of way to put your bow on it, and you could, just like you do golf, ride target to target on the golf cart, walk down there, get your air, get back on the golf cart, I bet you would attract a ton of people.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd have to, I don't know, you'd almost have to do it on a golf course, or you'd have to do it on some flat land. I don't know, but that's just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
I think a few tweaks and changes and things could take off. But a lot of people shown interest in the total archery style shoots with a long yardage and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
it's different. It's not your typical.
Yeah.
Because, and we noticed this, if you put tournament out there, people freak out. You know, they think that.
Yeah, for like our customers, they want to hear we're having a 3D shoot, just a fun hang out with your buddy 3D shoot. But if we call it, we've noticed this in the past when we've had shoots here, if we say, hey, we're having a 3D tournament Saturday, nobody's showing up because it freaks them out. But we're mainly a hunting clientele, you know, very small percentage of tournament shooters come in, you know, that sort of thing. Our people want a fun shoot, family shoot, you know. One year we called it like the Superman shoot out here, and you had to shoot around branches and over branches, and I mean that turned people on, you know. But your tried and true tournament guys hate that, you know what I mean? We had a couple here for that, and they absolutely hated it, and so I guess you just got to play to who you got.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough talk about archery clubs. Y'all got anything, any kind of cool, different club situation where y'all are at? I'd be just curious to know or hear about it. It seems like 20 targets is a good number, because I've heard people complain when there's 25 or even 30, it's too much shooting and walking. But like, again, that gets back to the whole golf cart mentality. Yeah. People are lazy. So it seems like 20 targets is a good number around here for the most part. But anyway, just holler at us, let us know, or put in the comments kind of what y'all, if you got something that is going real well in your area, I'd be curious to know what it is. We got somebody calling, let's see,
the hotline.
It's a dang telemarketer.
Good old telemarketers.
Hi. But yeah, it seems like it's been a pretty boring week. I've got I made a list the other day of videos we're going to make sooner than later about the rest of the prime bows and this, that, and other arrows and all this stuff. So hopefully we're about back to normal. I went out of town and TJ went out of town, all this stuff. So hopefully next week we'll have back to our regular podcast, and not the short format like we've been doing, which I've been happy with the short format. It seems like everybody is, but we'll go back to sort of normal. And
it's just, this time of year, it's just dead. It's just a dead time as far, because there's really nothing to talk about. I mean, hunting season is what, 3.5 months out, something like that. So it's archery in the archery world is kind of boring right now.
Yeah, and we've considered maybe making the podcast in the live feed the same. Start doing the podcast live, and I'm not 100% against that, but we'll figure out if we're going to change that or not sooner than later. But for now, we'll probably just keep it like it is and get back to our normal stuff. But anyway, if y'all got any questions you want us to talk about, put them in the comments. And we appreciate y'all watching, and hit the old thumbs up and the subscribe button if you don't mind. And I guess we'll see y'all here in a few days.
Yep, see y'all.
Thanks for watching.